Hedgie Blasts Off by Jan Brett. The artwork in Jan Brett's books is awesome. You will love it. And Hedgie is a hedgehog who is adorable. My name is Hedgie and I want to be an astronaut. I work at Star Lab on the cleanup crew. I've never flown on a spaceship, but I take care of the Zeppelin rocket for the professor, the smartest scientist on Earth. He's in charge of outer space. Today, when I got to work, the professor looked worried. Hedgie, we have a problem. He said, Big Sparkler is only sending up weak bursts of sparkles. If it stops altogether, there will be no more Big Sparkler and no more flowers. Big Sparkler is on the tiny planet of Macap. Alien tourists love to fly over it to watch it erupt and to take pictures of the strange flowers that depend on the sparkles for food. This is an emergency, Hedgie. Call the scientists to the lab. The scientists came in and the professor explained the problem. Big Sparkler is failing, he told them. We need to go to Macap and find out what's wrong. I'd fly there in the Zeppelin, but it is too big to land on tiny Macap. We need to build a rescue robot and a small rocket to go there. The scientists looked at the drawings on the blackboard and went to work. I tried to help. He's still cleaning up this mess, so if they drop things, then he picks them up. That's very helpful. Soon everything was ready for the launch. Reporters came to hear about the mission. The professor explained, Big Sparkler isn't working properly. He said, first, let me show you how it is supposed to work. He put a cork on a bottle of fizzy water. Pretend this is Big Sparkler. He shook and shook the bottle until the cork flew out and water soaked the reporters. Oh no! But now Big Sparkler is sending up fewer and fewer sparkles. We think it may stop altogether, the professor said. How can you find out what is going on? A reporter asked. Meet Rescue Robot. The professor answered. He threw open the hatch to the rocket and the pilot's seat was empty. Oh no. We looked all around the lab. No robot. Then I opened the door to the cleanup crew closet. There he was, in sleeper mode. Spikes jammed fast. Rescue Robot had probed too soon, gotten stuck, and crashed. Oh no. I wonder what's going to happen next. The reporters looked at the professor. The professor looked at me and Rescue Robot. Then he whispered in my ear, Hedgie, you're the only one who will fit into the rocket. How would you like to go to outer space? I nodded my head, yes. The professor turned to the reporters. A little change of plans. He told them, meet Rescue Hedgie. No programming necessary. The professor looked at me. Come back and tell us what you find, Hedgie, and we will fix the problem. Now he gets to go in outer space just like he's always wanted. Zoom! The tiny planet Macap got larger and larger before my eyes. Ooh, he's getting there. The engines roared as the rocket settled onto Macap's surface. I climbed out of the hatch. Big Sparkler's crater was in front of me. The flowers circling it had turned to little gray puffballs. Suddenly, I was startled by a low flying saucer. It buzzed down just as Big Sparkler struggled to erupt. A thin stream of glittery sparkles sifted through the air and dusted the passing ship. The tourists inside shrieked and threw things out of their portholes and into the crater. Ooh, I wonder what they threw out. Clink, clank, clunk. More squeals. Then I saw what was falling into the crater. Coins! I walked over and looked down. So that's what's wrong. Too many coins from all over the galaxy were filling up Big Sparkler. It needed to be cleaned out. I wanted to fix Big Sparkler for the professor before going home. But how could I drag all those years of coins out of the crater? It was impossible for one small hedgehog. I wonder what he's going to do. Then I remembered the bottle of fizzy water and the cork. What if I became the cork for Big Sparkler? One small hedgehog might just be perfect for the job. I took a big jump before I was too scared. So away he goes, in there with all the coins. I landed in the opening and puffed up my prickles to stop it up completely. I told myself, just hold fast with every prickle. I felt Big Sparkler pushing against me. The more it pushed, the tighter I held on. Hold fast, hold fast, hold fast. Ooh, do you think he can do it? Kaboom! There he goes. And all the coins. Check it out. You see him way up on the top? Yep, there he is. And all the coins are coming out. Big Sparkler erupted with a tremendous roar. I flew up and landed in a soft pile of sparkles. Giant flowers came alive right before my eyes. Aren't they beautiful? I raced back to the rocket and took off for home. I was making a victory orbit around Mikop when I saw the alien tourists. They were squealing with joy. Instead of throwing good luck coins into Big Sparkler, they were trying to catch them flying through space. I hope it takes years for them to collect all those coins, because then they won't throw them in and he won't have to fix it again. Perfect. Back at Star Lab, I was in for another surprise. I stood beside the professor as he said a few words to the reporters. Please meet our first hedgehog astronaut. The scientists at Star Lab proudly present Hedgie with the official astronaut star for his courage and cool thinking. I was an astronaut. Do you think Hedgie was so excited? I am sure he was. The professor went on. Star Lab is grateful to everyone who worked to save Mikop and Big Sparkler. From astronaut first class Hedgie to our new high-tech cleanup crew. 3 cheers for Hedgie. Hooray! So now, what was this? It's supposed to be the astronaut robot. Now is the cleanup crew. And Hedgie gets to be the astronaut. So cool. Oh, don't you think it would be fun to make a hedgehog? Oh, you can do it. You have a paper that looks like this, and this is kind of the shape of a hedgehog. And so what you are going to do first is make the prickles, okay? So the prickles are the part on the back, and so you want to be cutting here, but you just want to cut like this. You want to cut little skinny triangles, okay? And if they end up being a little bit bigger, it's okay. But you want to cut them out like that so it's pointy on the end. And you might have to do some a little bigger than others. So that one's a little bit bigger. It's okay. You can do them how it works for you. And you want to cut down kind of to the part where it stops being bumpy there. Okay? And you want to do this all the way around. And when you get done, it will look something like that. Then you need to put an eye here and color the nose in black. And if you look carefully, you'll see I used a brown marker to make kind of a line here. I think maybe it could go just here, and then you could color the legs darker. And then do some prickles going out. And you might want to do more than I have, and then maybe color it in with a brown crayon in the background. I think that would look really cool. And then you have your own hedgehog. There is another way to get a hedgehog too. I have a paper like this here for you too. And what you want to do is color in the hedgehog, and then you can either leave this part white or color it another color too. And then you want to cut on that dotted line all the way around, and all the way around on the bottom too. And then you have papers like this, and I gave you 2 because I didn't know for sure. But what you want to do is staple one on this side, and then see if this fits around your head. And And if it doesn't fit all the way around, then you want to put the other one on the other side and staple that on too. So you probably just want to do that. Staple one on each side after you've got it cut out. And then measure it on your head. And then your parents can staple it together in the back. And then you have a headband that has a hedgehog. So cute. Have fun.